PR Connections Radio presents.
Welcome to Vegas Hockey Hub here on PRConnectionsRadio.com, the voice of new media. I'm your host, Ian Rachiele. And on this edition, we are going to be doing a Vegas Hockey Hub recap where we break down all these action with your Vegas Golden Knights. We're going to be talking about the most recent matchup that happened between the Minnesota Wild and your Vegas Golden Knights. And what an insane game this was. There was a lot of action, some good back and forth, and more importantly, an update that is going to be so beneficial to your Vegas Golden Knights. We're going to cover all of it here on Vegas Hockey Hub. And man, this is going to be an amazing episode to go. Now, before we get into the game itself, go to www.prconnectionsradio.com, the voice of new media. We have about a dozen shows on the platform, including Vegas Hockey Hub. So my recommendation would be to go to the website, support all of the content that's on here on the channel. And we also have our social medias as well at Vegas Hockey Hub, where we upload content. We have our YouTube channel. We try to upload every single day. We have a Facebook page. We try to interact with everyone all around the world. We have our Instagram, our Twitter, our TikTok. We upload videos and highlights of stuff that we are at and events that we are going to on behalf of Vegas Hockey Hub. And then lastly, if you want to follow your host, I'm also on all social media platforms at Ian J. Rachiele. So that's IANJRACHIELE. And if you can do all of that, that would be much appreciative of our social media. Be much thankful. Now, getting into the recap here between the Minnesota Wild and the Vegas Golden Knights, there was an important update that happened before the game even kicked off, and it is an amazing story for the Vegas Golden Knights, as it was announced in the morning that Noah Hanifin has signed a contract extension. Yes, indeed, Noah Hanifin, the defenseman they acquired at the trade deadline from the Calgary Flames. Some people were going to see if he was going to be a rental, if he was going to be a one and done, but no. The Vegas Golden Knights have decided that they're going to lock him up long term, and they have given him a nice, and I mean sweet, contract extension with the Vegas Golden Knights organization. Now, the details here that are going to be read out on Vegas Hockey Hub, this is presented by Sportsnet, so I'm going to always give credit, TSN, Sportsnet, that's where I got the credit from. But according to the contract, he has signed a 8-year, $58 million contract extension with your Vegas Golden Knights. This is going to be a AAV, an average annual value, a little over $7 million. And this is a fantastic contract for the Vegas Golden Knights. Noah Hanifin, someone who is in his mid-20s, someone who's in his prime right now, 44 points, 13 goals, 31 assists in 77 games this year. And I will point out that he has had 11 points in 16 games since being acquired at the NHL trade deadline. And like I said, I got to give a lot of credit to TSN and Sportsnet for breaking this news and giving us the information. However, I'm going to point this out, that when it comes to Noah Hanifin, this is a move that you look at the depth chart of your Vegas Golden Knights. Alex Pietrangelo, he got signed to that long-term deal back in 2019. He is going to be around for the next 2 or 3 years. Shea Theodore, Braden McNabb, their contracts are not up this offseason, but the offseason next. And then we have the situation with Alec Martinez, him being a free agent. Will he stay or will he go? And on top of that, they did extend Nick Hague this past season, and Zach Whitecloud was extended 2 off seasons prior. So for your Vegas Golden Knights, you have 4 of your defensemen signed to long-term deals. Pietrangelo, Hanifin, Hague, and Whitecloud. So it will be really interesting to see what the defense looks like in the next 2 or 3 years. And more importantly, when you have Hanifin, we've seen what Nick Hague and Noah Hanifin have performed like over the last month. And maybe it will be Hanifin and Pietrangelo as your 2 long-term guys. maybe it will be Haig in Hannafin. There's a possibility that it could be a guy like Braden McNabb, one of the best shot blockers in the NHL. Shea Theodore and Noah Hannafin is unlikely, but we have seen crazier things happen in the NHL. But yes, over the next couple of years, when Noah Hannafin is on an 8-year, $58 million contract extension with your Vegas Golden Knights, and it is happy to say that he is going to be here long term, and you're going to have him until he is 34 years old. So you're going to have him for his entire prime, and then even on the back end of his prime, he is still going to be suiting up for the Vegas Golden Knights. Incredible move. I'm happy to hear that. George McPhee, Kelly McCrimmon, another great decision by the Vegas Golden Knights. And Noah Hannafin, incredible defenseman, and I like what this move was. Now, at the morning skate at City National Arena, doing the practice before this game against Minnesota, there was some interesting pregame notes that we are going to share. And the first and most important one is that forward Mark Stone, your captain, is back in practice. So Mark Stone, we have had a lot of question marks about what is his status, what is he going to be doing for the Golden Knights. Well, there was a lot of cheers, a lot of applaud from the fans at City National Arena for morning skate as Mark Stone back in practice. And it's really good news because he will be in the starting lineup very soon. We saw a few days ago that Tomas Hertl, he made his debut against Vancouver. Now Mark Stone, he looks like he is going to get ready. He will be healthy to get back to the Golden Knights, and he will be there in the next couple of weeks. So amazing news for your Vegas Golden Knights fans that Mark Stone will be back in practice. Now, because of that, they actually had to send somebody down. Brendan Bryson, the 2020 first-round pick, has been optioned down to the AHL. Look, it's just the business of sports. It's nothing personal in hockey. Brendan Bryson, he's played a few games in the NHL. He's had about 5 points this season. And him being sent down to Henderson, it's just a move that had to be done for to make the roster space work. Now, a lot of people have said that I am heavily critical of Brendan Bryson, and sometimes I have been, but I do see him being an AHL guy for the rest of the year. And then if we figure out what's going to happen next year, we'll have to wait and see. But for Brendan Bryson, him getting sent down to Henderson in a corresponding move due to all of the roster changes that are happening with your Vegas Golden Knights. So after being in the lineup a couple of games, he is now back in the AHL. So first round pick, Brendan Bryson, sent down to Henderson. And then good news, Chandler Stevenson, who was out of the lineup due to his family having a baby. Chandler Stevenson is back in the lineup. So by the way, formally congratulations to Chandler Stevenson. Congratulations to your family. But Chandler Stevenson back in the starting lineup. He will be on that same line with Pavel Dorofeyev and with Tomas Hertl. And really good to see Chandler Stevenson back because he is kind of a concrete cement rock that you have in that middle six. He's been one of the guys that is just constantly been a solid player in the middle six in terms of offense, in terms of getting the puck to the right guy. So Chandler Stevenson back in the starting lineup. He is going to be on that second line like he has been for majority of the season, and he is going to be suiting up for your Vegas Golden Knights. So, yeah, Chandler Stevenson, once again, had his baby with his wife. Now he is back in the starting lineup. Nick Waugh, who did get injured in the Vancouver game in the beginning of April, he is now back in the lineup. So after missing 3 games, he is now going to be back. He will be on that fourth line with Michael Amadio and Keane Kolazar. Don't worry, we're going to go over the entire starting lineup later in a few minutes. But for Nick Waugh, he has had an excellent season so far. In fact, you can make an argument this has been his career best of his career up to this point. You know, not just from being on the first line when injuries just ramsacked the Vegas Golden Knights in January, but Nick Waugh having about a dozen goals on the year. Really solid performance by him. So him missing those couple of games, you did notice a difference on the bottom six when you had guys like Brett Howden filling in that role. But for good news, Nick Waugh back in the starting lineup, back on the fourth line, teaming up with Kolazar once again. Now, the bad news for your Vegas Golden Knights is that 2 people are still out. One is due to injury, and one is still unknown. We are not going to speculate on the second guy. Now, getting over to the first one, William Carrier, it seems like he has been injured multiple times this season. His body just breaking down. He's not been able to be healthy this year. Unfortunately, William Carrier not in the starting lineup for your Vegas Golden Knights. And because of that, Michael Amadio, who I alluded to about a minute ago, he will be stepping down from the third line and be coming over to the fourth. So Michael Amadio going to be on that line, replacing William Carrier in the starting lineup. Look, William Carrier is an original misfit. I understand there's people who are absolutely big fans of Carrier, but let's just face the facts. He has just been very injury heavy the past 2 seasons. It's unfortunate to see, but that's just been the reality. And then for Alex Pietrangelo, he has been gone for essentially ever since Arizona. And I kind of wonder, not going to speculate. There's people talking about COVID. There's people talking about him being injured again. There's something about family. There's all this speculation. So here's what we're going to do with Vegas Hockey Hub. Until an official report comes out, we're not going to report on it. All right? Until we get an official statement from McCrimmon, McPhee, Cassidy, whatever the situation is, I am not going to report it officially on Vegas Hockey Hub. That's not what this show is about. So, Alex Pietrangelo, he is out. He's not in the starting lineup. And, Alec Martinez, he's going to be a healthy scratch in this game. So, because of that, Ben Hutton back in the starting lineup for your Vegas Golden Knights. And Alex Pietrangelo, once again, he is still out for Vegas. And then in net for your Vegas Golden Knights, the Iron Man of the 2023-2024 season, Logan Thompson in net for Vegas. And I can really sit here and appreciate what Logan Thompson has done. He has won a majority of his previous starts, but what I can appreciate and what I can applaud Logan Thompson for is his longevity. Unlike Aiden Hill, who has dealt with some injury problems this year, Yuri Patera, who did suffer an injury after his game in Boston back in January, Logan Thompson has had to be the workhorse in net for your Vegas Golden Knights, and it showed in this game. Now, on the other side of the net, and there's no way to talk about this without being sincere and without being some applaud and some congratulation, Logan Thompson on one side of the ice for your Vegas Golden Knights, and then on the other side is a former Golden Knight, a 3-time Stanley Cup champion, and no doubt a future Hall of Famer in Marc-Andre Fleury. Now, we do not know if this is his final season in the NHL, but if it is, I want to say congratulations, and I want to applaud Marc-Andre Fleury on an exceptional, outstanding career in the NHL. Now, tonight's game is not an indication of how great Marc-Andre Fleury has been, all right? If you base it off of this game, you would think that the whole world fell apart. But I will say for Marc-Andre Fleury, watching him play, I was wearing all black at the T-Mobile Arena. I was at this game live. It was good to see Marc-Andre Fleury again. If it's the last time, hey, congratulations on a great career. Now, the starting lineup for your Vegas Golden Knights, on line 1, Ivan Barbashev, Jack Eichel, and Jonathan Marchessault. On line 2, Chandler Stevenson, Tomas Hertl, and Pavel Dorofeyev. Line 3 is Brett Howden, William Karlsson, Anthony Mantha. Line 4, Michael Amadio, Nick Waugh, and King Kolazar. So overall, the 4 lines on the forwards, yes, having Stevenson back, having Waugh back, that's very important. It takes Bryson out of the lineup. It takes Cotter out of the lineup. But overall, this has kind of been your constant lineup over the last couple of weeks. I mean, Dorofeyev and Howden kind of switched spots for a little bit. But overall, this has been your middle 6. It's been steady. Your first line has been a rock ever since Eichel came back from injury. On defense, you have Nick Hague and Noah Hannafin. So once again, the chemistry line I've seen over the past month, Hannafin and Hague have gelled really well together. McNabb and Theodore, who have been on the same pairing for the last couple of years. They are your second defensive pairing. And then your third and final defensive pairing will be Zach Whitecloud teaming up with Ben Hutton. So this is a bit of a change because, like we said, we've had Alec Martinez be with Zach Whitecloud. We have had Alec Martinez and Alex Petrangelo be on the third defensive pairing over the last month. But in this game, it is Hutton and Whitecloud with Cotter and with Martinez being healthy scratches in this game. And overall, in net for the Vegas Golden Knights, Logan Thompson, like we alluded to earlier in the show. So it was time to set off the action and get the game started at T-Mobile Arena for the puck drop against Minnesota. And to start this period off, not even 2 minutes in, T-Mobile Arena would be rocking as welcome back Nick Waugh with his 12th goal of the season, assisted by number 9, Jack Eichel. And just like that, your Vegas Golden Knights put them on the board 1-0. And what an incredible start to this game. I like the energy, the flow that we saw with your Vegas Golden Knights. And more importantly, when it came to what this game represented for your Vegas Golden Knights, what this game really showed is that this is a team that when they are on the offensive end, when they are running at all 12 cylinders, they are a team that is electric. They are one of the best teams in all of hockey when they are together as a collective unit. And we saw right here what Nick Waugh and Jack Eichel did there, 1-0. And after a Pavel Dorofeyev elbow penalty, where he would go to the penalty box, the Golden Knights would kill off that penalty. And then a few minutes later, Pavel Dorofeyev, he would get on the board, 13th goal of the season, assisted by number 27, Shea Theodore, and number 20, Chandler Stevenson. And not even 7 minutes into the first period, T-Mobile Arena was loud. It was boisterous as Pavel Dorofeyev joins Nick Waugh in the goal count column, and it would be a 2-0 game for your Vegas Golden Knights. And I can really sit here and appreciate what Pavel Dorofeyev has really become, his progression and how well he has done over the past couple of years, going from being a prospect, the guy they drafted, to now being a top 6 member for your Vegas Golden Knights. Great job by Pavel Dorofeyev here on this play. And then let's continue here for a second as the Vegas Golden Knights would get their first power play opportunity as Joel Eriksson Ek would trip William Karlsson. He would go to the penalty box, and your Vegas Golden Knights would be on the NV Energy power play. And if you need a power play quarterback, if you need someone to put the puck in the back of the net, who else but Jack Eichel? And Jack Eichel, 30th goal of the season, assisted by Noah Hannafin and Chandler Stevenson. So second assist of the night for Stevenson. And Noah Hannafin, first point after signing that nice contract extension in the morning, would be a 3-0 game for the Vegas Golden Knights. And it really shows that Jack Eichel, second point of the game, him hitting the 30-goal mark on the season, joining Marchessault, and could be Karlsson, depending on what happens in the last couple of games. Now, in the final minutes of the first period, Brett Howden would be tripped by a Minnesota Wild player. Adam Beckman would go to the penalty box. And your Golden Knights, unfortunately, would not be in that situation. They would not capitalize on it. And it would, unfortunately, be 1 for 2 on the power play to begin the first period for your Vegas Golden Knights. But what you can appreciate about this game, as we are talking about the Minnesota Wild Vegas Golden Knights recap here, is that in the first period, you were explosive right out of the gate. And that was so vital for the Vegas Golden Knights. You could tell that this is a Vegas Golden Knights organization that was really taking advantage of opportunities. They were capitalizing on it. Every single shift was valuable. and important to the Vegas Golden Knights organization. And, I really sit here and analyze it and go, you know what? This is a team that is really building towards something. And you can sit here and appreciate that. And overall, when it comes to your Vegas Golden Knights organization, this is what was very important. And you could really see was a vital part of why they won this game. Now, moving over to the second period for the Vegas Golden Knights, unfortunately, there would be a too many men penalty in the second period by the Vegas Golden Knights. Somebody would have to go to the penalty box, and this would lead to a penalty kill situation for Vegas. Unfortunately, the Vegas Golden Knights would let up a goal here. It would be a 3-1 game to begin the second period, but no fear, as that Joel Eriksson Ek, for the second time in this game, would get a penalty against William Karlsson. So not only a second penalty on the same guy, but he did it against the same Vegas Golden Knight as well, which is just interesting. But after killing off that penalty, not even 10 seconds later, Marcus Johansson would slash Shea Theodore. So Mojo would go to the penalty box for the Minnesota Wild. And for the fourth time in the game, your Vegas Golden Knights would be on the NV Energy power play. And what an insane reaction this was, as your Vegas Golden Knights fans, they would be loud and on their feet as Jonathan Marchessault, 42nd goal of the season, and assisted by defenseman Noah Hanifin and forward Chandler Stevenson. So not only a power play goal for Jonathan Marchessault, but 42 goals on the season. That puts him only one goal behind William Karlsson back in 2017-2018. Chandler Stevenson, this is his third assist of the game, and Noah Hanifin, second assist of the game. So the Vegas Golden Knights being up 4-1 at the end of the second period. Excellent job by the Vegas Golden Knights. Well executed on the power play, and the fact that they have not one but two power play goals in the first two periods, that was good for Vegas. Now, was it a bit sad seeing Marc-Andre Fleury unfortunately be rattled? Yeah. Was it unfortunate that Marc-Andre Fleury was going to lose to his former team in potentially his last season? Unfortunately. However, hockey is hockey, and it happens for a reason. Now, here is the situation. You leave the second period, and you are up 4-1. Okay? You're the Vegas Golden Knights. You are up by 3 goals at the end. Now, what would happen with the Minnesota Wild? They would keep Marc-Andre Fleury in net to start the third period, despite letting up 4 goals already. And not only would this be bad for Minnesota, but this would be a situation where the goals would just keep on coming and keep on coming. As 2 minutes into the third period, Tomas Hertl, 16th goal of the season, assisted by Chandler Stevenson for the 4th time in this game, and then Zach Whitecloud with his first point in a while. It would be a 5-1 game. So Tomas Hertl, 16th goal of the season, his second goal since being a Vegas Golden Knight. And just like that, they would be a 5-1 game for the Vegas Golden Knights organization, being up by 4 goals with about 2 minutes into the third period. Solid job there. And after a Ryan Hartman goal by the Minnesota Wild, that would decrease the lead from 5-2. And it would be a situation where the Golden Knights just had to hold on, right? Well, nah. As halfway into the third period, who else but Wild Bill, William Karlsson, 28th goal of the season, only 2 away from getting to the 30-goal mark, assisted by a trade deadline acquisition in Anthony Mantha. And just like that, your Vegas Golden Knights are now back up by 4, making it a 6-2 game for the Vegas Golden Knights. And for William Karlsson, I'm not saying he's going to hit the 30-goal mark, but at least it's doable. You know, we have guys like Nick Waugh, Pavel Dorofeyev, who are kind of close to 15 goals on the year. Jonathan Marchessault trying to eclipse the franchise record for most goals in a season. Jack Eichel just hit the 30-goal mark this game. So be interesting to see what happens with William Karlsson, only 2 away. And then there would be a penalty on the Vegas Golden Knights as Zach Whitecloud would get a cross-checking penalty. He would go to the penalty box. The Golden Knights would kill that off. And then the final action of the game is that your fourth line would execute again. Nick Waugh did it in the beginning of the game. And then Keegan Kolesar, 8th goal of the season, assisted by Nick Waugh and number 16, Pavel Dorofeyev. And just like that, the game is over, and it is a 7-2 final for the Vegas Golden Knights. And just like that, your Vegas Golden Knights win against Minnesota. They score 7 goals on future Hall of Famer Marc-Andre Fleury. And, like I mentioned before, if this is his final season, if this is Marc-Andre Fleury's final game against Vegas, what a way to go out. But more importantly, let's get on your feet as the Vegas Golden Knights clinch a playoff spot with this win. So because they beat Minnesota and because St. Louis does not have enough points to eclipse the Vegas Golden Knights, that means that with the final 3 games left in the year, seeding is all that matters. Because the LA Kings are right here, Vegas is around the corner, Vancouver and Edmonton are battling for the number 1 spot in the Pacific. Dallas has pretty much clinched the first spot in the Central. Colorado and Winnipeg, they're going to battle for that second spot there. So overall, the seeding is all that's going to matter in the final 3 games. But your Vegas Golden Knights have clinched a playoff spot. Congratulations to them. An amazing job by the Vegas Golden Knights. And for the 6th time in 7 seasons, your Vegas Golden Knights are moving on to the big dance, and they're moving on to the Stanley Cup playoffs. Your player of the game, it has to go to the 4-point night himself of Chandler Stevenson. So great news for Chandler Stevenson. You come back from having a baby, you have your first game back, and you score not 1, not 2, not 3, but you score 4 points on the night for the Vegas Golden Knights. All of them being assists, by the way. So for Chandler Stevenson, congratulations. Player of the game has to go to him. And it will be really interesting to see what happens with Chandler Stevenson moving forward. I mean, after all, Chandler Stevenson is one of the 7 free agents your Vegas Golden Knights have next offseason. And I know plenty of people are focusing on Jonathan Marchessault, so I completely understand that. But just don't forget, Chandler Stevenson's on that list as well. And your win-loss record for the Vegas Golden Knights, 43 wins, 28 losses, and 8 overtime losses with 3 games left in the season. And those final 3 games that we are going to be part of on Vegas Hockey Hub, we're going to be at every single one of those games. You have the Colorado Avalanche on Sunday, followed by the Chicago Blackhawks on Tuesday, and the Anaheim Ducks on Thursday as your season finale. And Vegas Hockey Hub, we're going to be doing our recap show for every single game. Now, we're going to be at the T-Mobile Arena, so we're going to record those at 8 a.m. the next morning. So instead of uploading them late at night at 10 p.m., 11 p.m., because we are at T-Mobile Arena and because I have to travel back to the studio, we are going to do it the next morning at 8 a.m. for all the people who are watching this live. So, this is Vegas Hockey Hub. I'm your host, Ian Rachiele, and continue to watch our content. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, like, that would be great. Go to our website, www.prconnectionsradio.com, the voice of new media, and more importantly, go to our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, at Vegas Hockey Hub. And if you could support our channel, that would be amazing. So, until tomorrow's episode of the Colorado Avalanche, we do our recap show for them. Just remember, support junior hockey, continue watching hockey, and go Knights go.
PR Connections Radio thanks you for watching this podcast. Check out more episodes of this show and our others at prconnectionsradio.com.